this video, we look into np.random and more importantly np.random.seed and how to use it. So we'll start by importing the NumPy library. So we seed the number to 123 over here. So what seed does is it helps us to create the same set of random numbers where even when we are passing this notebook to others or even when we are running this notebook multiple times. So this is the first set of output I'm getting. So this is another set of random numbers that I'm getting using this particular seed. So if I run this, uh, so we'll just for our sake, we'll just store it or we'll just have a copy of it over here. So this is the output that is generated. Similarly, this is the output that is generated. So what we are going to do now is, let's restart the runtime. So all the things should be lost. And I'll also remove clear all the outputs. So even if I'm running it from the start again, it would be generating the same set of random variables. You can see it's similar. The same values are printed. 1.65, 1.65, minus 1, 2, minus 2. You can see it. But if I run the same random.random again, it would generate different set of values. Okay. It's important. The thing is, it's like a sequence of values. It maintains an order. When you run it again, the next set in the sequence is coming. Okay, something like that. You can have understanding. So you can also state a random state for a individual object. So I'm creating an object rs. I'm creating a random set of variables, random set of values is created. So if even if I run it again, it would be creating the same values over here, but here the values would change. So we will be explaining on what happens over here in the end. Before that, we'll see what are the other random values that samples that we can create. So random.rand helps you to create random variables with the interval 0 to 1. It's not negative. Uh, rand n np.random.random helps you to create a value with standard normal distribution with mean 0 and variance 1. So we'll just print the variance. It is not exactly 1, but it will be around 1 variance. 0.6 over here. And let's also print the mean. It's around 0. Not exactly around. You can also run it again. So it's above 1 this time. So np.random.random helps you to create random variables with mean 0 and variance 1. So it results in negative values also. Just print it. Yeah, negative and positive values are there. If we're in np.rand, you'll be having only positive values. And np.random, you will be also having negative values. Next is getting random integer. So np.random.randint helps you to create random integers. So you have to pass the low and high and also the number of values that you want to generate and the data type. Most of these are optional. So we just see the documentation so that you'll have a better idea on what are the parameters are optional and what are required. So the low thing alone is the only required parameter. All the things, other things are optional. So let's create it. So it creates a random integer, 3 random integers with the range 0, 1 to 50. I can also create around 5. Sorry, 5. As you can see, there is no order maintained with these numbers. Similar to random.rand, we can also use other functions like random.random, random.randf, and sample to generate random numbers. There are also many other random functions that you can use, and many distributions and samples that you can get from like beta, binomial, chi-square, exponential. All these things are available. I will link you this documentation where you can explore more on this. You also have Weibull distribution. You can use all these distributions to generate random numbers. So next one is np.random.choice. You are given a list and you are given the size. So what we do is we choose the choice from the given list, and you also can give the probability distribution. So I given a probability distribution of 1, 8 and 1, 0.1, 0.8 and zero point 0.1, so that most of the times 1 is repeated. So I can also change this probability distribution to now the number of repetitions of 1 is slightly reduced compared to before. As you can see, there are more 2's and 0's right now. Okay, these are examples of np.random.choice. You are given a list and you determine the size. Now that number of values would be generated randomly within the given list. You can also shuffle. So I'm creating a range 0 to 9. So you can see this is similar to np.arange. You can do it in both ways. np.arange should be much faster. What shuffle does is it creates a permutation of this particular elements. So all these elements would be there, but the order alone would be changing. As you can see, the first element, if I shuffle again, the order would change. So that's how it works. It's just like card shuffling. So similarly, we have permutation. The only difference is that in np.random.shuffle, it actually returns in place. Okay, but in permutation, it's not in place. It's stored in a different variable. The array is not affected. Okay, can I again print the array? It would be as it was before the permutation, but it's not the same in case of shuffling. Shuffling is in place, permutation is not. It has its own copy. So let's conclude with seed once again. So every time when I use the seed before I generate a number, the same value would be repeating each and every time. So I've used C26 over here. I'm creating a random number, a random integer. Similarly, I'm using seed and creating the random integer. Both these values should be similar no matter how many times I'm running. It's going to be 822 and 822. The last number would change since we are not using seed over there. Okay, I can run it again and show you. The first two elements would be same, 822 and 822. Okay, this is about random number generation. I hope it was useful. Thank you.